Okay, so folded lip on this side is the bottom. No, it's not. No, sorry, folded lip is the top, because the smaller section goes by the smaller oven, because the hard gas line has to run in that channel on the outside. So that thing goes behind the gas line so that the gas line can slide in that channel. And you have to bring it out here with the oven jacked away just enough. Be careful with the gas line back there. You can slide that thing in, slide it behind the gas line once you've put the bottom on first. So this piece goes on first, that piece goes on next, and then this piece goes on the top, and you'll see how it lines up. There. Now, once you get all of those pieces on, then this dude can go on. This dude has, this screw was missing. It had just 2 screws, outside screws, and there's some on the back side. All the screws are here. Now, there's only two screw differences that I think we really care about, and that is in the heads. You can see that this head is a little bit different than the rest of them, right? That first head there is like the finished trim head, and it's the head that is used for this, because you can see it, right? Like the user can see it. That's the trim head screw that goes like in this slot here when this side panel goes on. This tab goes in here, and that trim head screw goes there, and also trim head down here, and as well as this one. Not these like regular pan heads, but the finished trim head there, right? You can see the difference. So you put the back panels on, right? Start with that one, then this one, and then that one. Those go on. Meanwhile, you've put this side back together already, and then this dude's got to go in there. And it definitely requires a little bit of jacking it around as you try and get this stuff to go in here. So it's kind of got to get like, you know, put over the top and sort of wedged in, but you'll figure it out. Easy enough. Then, as you probably recall, this gets put out of the way, and then this goes in, and the temp sensor has to go through this hole so that when you put this all back together, this thing, you probably recall, there's this dude that goes here. This goes on top. There's some screws in the side, and then these brackets go here, and then when you put these on, they go like this, and this guy slides in to that little slot, and it sits under there as the temperature sensor. But obviously, yeah, so that's all got to go like that. Now this thing has a tab here, and I believe is screwed here, and so you have to be able to. Oh, sorry, there's the temp holder. It doesn't go like that. It goes like this, and so that temp sensor comes through here. Sorry, let me. So it goes like this, right? So bottom piece goes in. There's a tab here that goes into a slot there. I had to then there's big tabs here that go into slots there. And I had to finagle it, finagle. There's screws that are in here that go there, right? So bottom piece goes in, bring the temp sensor through the hole in the bottom piece, bring the temp sensor through the hole in this thing, and then the temp sensor just slides through that little bracket and just rests in that little bracket. And then this all goes back together. Don't forget these side screws. I believe there's some screws here that those two holes go to those two screws and so forth. This is gonna have to get screwed back together once we get gas line on and this thing is put back together properly. Once it's back together, got to test these burners too. Got to put the star pieces on, test them. Griddle goes on, and yeah, griddle goes on once this is all done. And then we'll try and test the whole thing, meaning test all 6 burners, test griddle to see if it's coming on. When this thing goes back in, try to get all that insulation back in properly tucked in so it's not sticking out. This pan should be on the outside catching anything with no insulation on it. You probably recall these go like this and connect like that, and then they've rested. There's slots here, right? So that's kind of that deal. So need to try and make sure we get all screws in, checking all points for connection, like in terms of, you know, when you put this thing back in, there's these screws that are a little easy to miss because of the insulation, you know, here and there. You know, so make sure that those go in. Make sure that this stuff goes. Make sure that the screws go into like almost all the holes that you can. And obviously, you know, you could look at this side for the sort of move over there if you really needed to.